I always say selling on Alibaba.com is kind of like being at like 5 trade shows at once.
We've been able to seal a lot of deals just using the platform.
About 50 to 60%. My export business comes from Alibaba.
Going from doing one order to doing 20 or 30 orders in a 1 or 2 month period, the platform speaks for itself. That's just weight in gold.
I mean, when you do a good job with Alibaba.com, buyers from everywhere around the world, they will know about you. And I can now develop and export my product in over 45 countries.
Once I started with Alibaba, I was able to reach people all across the world, like Tanzania and Kenya and Africa and the UK and Germany.
I'm selling product in UAE, Saudi Arabia, Great Britain, and a host of others. I wouldn't have reached those customers without Alibaba.com.
Selling on Alibaba.com has gotten easier than ever. Introducing our new flexible payment plan options. When you sign up for an Alibaba.com seller membership, choose between paying annually or quarterly. Regardless of which plan you choose, get the same seller service and all-encompassing suite of features that make us the world's leading online B2B marketplace. With 0% commission taken on sales, keep the customer relationships you make and profits you win. Conduct business the way you want to. Build the business you've always wanted, now with more flexibility than ever. Let's make it easy to do business anywhere.
Sell on Alibaba.com.
They made the onboarding process very, very easy. Once I paid my fees, after that, I don't need to worry about anything. If you have a product and you want to sell in international market, I would say you should not wait. You should just reach out to Alibaba.
We've been able to seal a lot of deals just using the platform. The best thing that Alibaba does really is the support that you get, because it's a whole new world once you get on the platform. Eric Cross and his team, they really helped me and my team navigate the website, you know, what to do, what not to do, the best practices. So that really, to me, is like one of the greatest assets to being on the platform.
I think US-based sellers have a huge opportunity, specifically because there aren't that many of them. And we had a dedicated customer service success manager who was incredibly knowledgeable about the platform. And he honestly almost became a teammate. And I have no doubt that anyone else who is going through that process is going to have a similar experience.
Alibaba.com team is absolutely amazing. They were always there, making sure that I understand the platform. They were smart, very reactive whenever I had a question, and they were so patient. And as I continue to grow the business, they continue to connect me with experts to help me with specific business questions.
Why we got such a fast sale, I would attribute it to Alibaba's onboarding team. They've done a really great job building our store for us. And that's one reason why we're so successful, is they know what they're doing, so we trust them to do their job.
Hello, and welcome to our webinar today, How Manufacturers in the USA Can Compete in B2B E-commerce. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we have some really cool guests from the United Inventors Association with us, as well as team members from Alibaba.com's US team. Before we begin, we usually like to do a brief poll so we can get to know you guys a little bit more. And also, if you have any questions, that's totally fine, and you can ask them anytime you want to. Just remember to use the Q&A box below at the bottom of your screen. We'll address all questions at the very end, but you can ask them whenever. They will stay there, and we'll look at them later. So here's the poll. There. All right, so let's learn about you. So what are you looking to do on Alibaba.com? That's the first question. Are you looking to sell products, source products, both sell and source, or neither? Our platform is like super flexible, so there's a number of different ways you can kind of approach using it. This kind of helps us kind of understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I'm going to give another 10 seconds. There you go. 5 more seconds. And, all right, thank you. So it looks like the majority of you guys are looking to both sell and source. That's oftentimes a case where we find people who maybe use the platform to source materials and then eventually sell things on the platform using the products they made from those things. So then the next one is tell us about your business. What kind of business are you? Are you a manufacturer, a wholesaler, distributor, a retailer, or something else? This talk in particular is a little bit geared more towards manufacturing, particularly because one of our special guests is known as the king of manufacturing. But I'm sure you can also find other really wonderful insight from our guests, even if you're not a manufacturer. Well, all right, another 5 seconds. And all right. So it looks like the majority of everyone is a manufacturer. So hopefully you find some really wonderful information about how you can expand your business using our platform. All right. And then finally, what would you like to learn from us? Like, what are you looking forward to learning about in this session? How to compete globally as a manufacturer, especially one in the US? How to increase brand visibility on a budget? Because one of the reasons why you might use Alibaba.com is to meet new people, new customers, and how to use Alibaba.com as a manufacturer, and how to reach international markets using Alibaba.com, which I think is what we're primarily known for. So anyway, there we go. So it looks like the majority of us want to know how to use Alibaba.com as a manufacturer. I'm sure our senior account executive, David Yo, will be really wonderful in walking you through that later on in this talk. So, alrighty, thank you so much for participating in our poll. Okay, and in case those of you are not super familiar with what the platform is or what we can do, here is a brief video to explain or walk you through some of the things you can do on our platform. Hope you enjoy.
Unleash infinite business opportunities with Alibaba.com, the world's largest online B2B marketplace. With over 40 million active buyers, 300,000 daily inquiries, important business deals are being made around the world all the time using our platform. Best of all, we take 0% commission on your sales. By signing up as an Alibaba.com supplier, you keep the money you earn, every single cent. Now is the perfect time to sign up. Professional onboarding services can get you started faster and with less stress than ever. Take advantage of classic Alibaba.com features, such as attracting buyers from over 200 countries and regions to your online store, where they can reach out with inquiries about your products. There's also no need to worry about language barriers. We translate your store and messages into 15 languages so you can communicate with the world with ease. Proactively net orders by browsing and responding to sourcing requests on the Request for Quotation or RFQ market. Any relationships you gain from reaching out to sourcers on the RFQ market are yours. Finally, attain exclusive data-driven insights and 24/7 customer support from our team right here in the USA. We'll help guide you to success using proprietary insight gained from our over 20 years in online B2B sales. Because of these features, Alibaba.com has become the wholesale B2B platform trusted by US suppliers. Grow with us no matter your business type. Now, it's easier than ever to start selling with our new flexible payment options. Let's make it easy to do business anywhere.
Sell on Alibaba.com.
Hope that was helpful. Now I'm going to quickly go over the agenda for today. So first, we're going to have David walk us through what Alibaba.com is and also what you can do on the platform. Then we will invite our special guests to speak about manufacturing and manufacturing globally. We have our special guest, Chris Guerrera, who is the president and CEO of Pace Systems. Then David's going to come back and tell you about how you can get onto the platform and start selling if you would like. And then finally, we will address everything in a Q&A session at the very end. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them throughout the session whenever. Just put them in the Q&A box below and we'll get to them at the end. Without further ado, I want to bring out David. Thank you so much for joining us. Yay!
Hey, Jess. Good to see you again. Pleasure to be here. All right. So I'm David. I'm on the growth team here at Alibaba.com North America. Super excited to talk today a little bit more about how these US-based manufacturers can succeed in that global B2B landscape. Before we do, though, we're on an Alibaba webinar. I got to talk a little bit more about what Alibaba.com is. So Alibaba.com, I'm sure a lot of you have at least heard of our name. Might not be too sure what we exactly do, right? Within that big group of Alibaba, there's Alibaba.com. I'm sure you've heard of AliExpress, Tmall, Alipay, all those wonderful companies. But Alibaba.com, right? The first one that was created by Jack Ma back in, I believe, in 98 or 99. Today, we are the world's largest B2B platform, the leading B2B e-commerce platform for global trade. Now, on a global scale, right, we do really pride ourselves on the sheer amount of active buyers we have on our platform. Now, on a global scale, we're roughly sitting at about 40 million active buyers. Thankfully, though, well, actually, I wouldn't say thankfully. Interestingly enough, United States actually is our largest buyer base. Roughly 30% of our buyer base are 40 million global traffic. So about 13 million of that traffic is coming from the United States. Now, that's why there's me, there's my team. Our primary objective is to recruit more US-based suppliers so we could meet up to our largest buyer base's demand. Now, on our platform, if you do have an appetite for international sales, our service does expand to close to 200 plus different countries and close to 6,000 product categories. So as long as what you're looking for, as long as what you're buying is legal, you're going to find it on Alibaba.com. So an easy way to understand who we are and our services is, rather than a standard e-commerce platform, try thinking of us as more so like a digital trade show that never goes offline, right? When you're thinking about standard trade shows, we go there for two primary objectives. One, you obviously want that brand recognition. You want people to walk around and see your brand, but most importantly, I mean, why spend all that money? You go there because you want to generate leads. You got to convert those leads into sales. But the reality is, spend tens and thousands of dollars to attend a trade show, but where's that ROI, right? I mean, I'm not trying to discredit, right, how important these face-to-face interactions are. It's great to put a face to a brand name, great things to do. However, when we come down to the actual facts, right, we attend trade shows to generate revenue. I don't think that ROI makes sense. And that's why we like to position ourselves like a digital trade show that never goes offline. It's your brand front and center. You got 40 million active people walking around. And honestly, I can't tell you, join Alibaba.com and we could promise you sales. I mean, no e-commerce company could ever say that. However, since we do have that extensive network, that 40 million buyer base power, we're able to guarantee you impressions and clicks. So the brand visibility piece, just like a traditional trade show, but the bread and butter of our platform is that we connect you as a supplier with quality B2B buyers across the world. And obviously, if you're a buyer, you get connected, you'll have the opportunity to meet quality suppliers, B2B suppliers across the world. So just kind of going over the big benefits of our platform. Starting off with the smallest one, I'd say, is the fact that all of our suppliers do indeed get their own online storefront, right? Just an example of one of our most loyal suppliers out there, Hardy Paw. I believe they've been a supplier on our platform for about 2 or 3 years, right? All of our suppliers do receive their own dedicated landing page. Just an example of what that might look like. Now, RFQ Marketplace, I want to say it's one of the primary highlights of our platform. Again, the bread and butter is that we connect you with quality buyers across the world. With the RFQ Marketplace, though, it's just another way to generate more of those leads without solely relying on that inbound traffic. So, for instance, let's say I am a distributor. I am looking for 10 pallets of water bottle, right? I have two options. One, I could go to search, I could look up water bottle, I could find my own manufacturer, I could find my own supplier. Instead of that, what I could do is I could also go to the RFQ Marketplace. I could post something saying, hi, I'm a US-based manufacturer. I am looking for 10 pallets of water bottles, right? Someone contact me, let's do business, right? As a supplier who sells a specific product, you could set alerts for those keywords. In this case, I'm assuming I'd get contacted by a manufacturer of water bottles. They come to me saying, "Hey, this is us. We carry these products. This is our business history. Let's do business." So, just another way to generate more of those leads without solely relying on that inbound traffic. And going into the main part, our search engine marketing platform. Like any other e-commerce platform out there, we do pride ourselves in the power of our digital marketing system. Big picture, we have three types. We have our premium sponsored ads, also known as PSAs, keyword ads, KWAs, and our sponsored brand ads. Now, just starting off from the PSAs, if you look at the example on the left, looks like this person searched up the keyword milk powder. Now, if you look at the first search result, you're going to see that small crown. That's how you know it's a PSA. Now, what PSAs are is that as a supplier, you have the ability to purchase out the rights to a keyword for a duration of a year. Now, for instance, let's say I am a manufacturer of water bottles, right? I'm selling water bottles on Alibaba.com. I have the option to purchase out the keyword water bottle. Now, whenever someone in the world, doesn't matter where they are, how they search you up, when they search you up, if and when they do, you are guaranteed #1 search result for a duration of a year. Me personally, I think this is the most powerful tool that we currently offer. Going on to the next part, KWA, same thing as Google Ads, cost per click bidding mechanism. And just the next one, please. And like I mentioned, finally, our sponsored brand ads. Same mechanism as our PSAs, very powerful tool. Purchase out the rights to a keyword for a duration of a year. Now, instead of being the first search result, that strip of banner on top. So for companies, for manufacturers that have a wide array of manufacturing capabilities, you guys are carrying a lot of products, banner ads are for you, right? Showcase your brand logo, showcase the products, some features, QR code, a link to your main landing page. Really, sky's the limit in terms of how you want to customize this banner. So just an example, one of our most successful sellers on our platform, Totally Products. They've been with us for over a decade now. They are a U.S.-based manufacturer, white label service of supplements. They're here out of Florida, USA. Let's hear from them and learn a little bit more of how they were able to utilize the power of the world's largest B2B platform to accomplish that level of success that they have today.
I'm fortunate because I built a nice business where I have that freedom to choose how I want to spend my time. Like I said, I'm a new father. I'm just so appreciative to have the time to spend with my son, and I take that religiously. So work-life balance is so vital.
Wow! Oh, I just missed it. I didn't take a picture. It's okay.
All they have to do is bring an idea to me. I turn that idea into reality. Not only do we have the product, we have a design team that can create the look and feel they're looking for. It's really a full-scale white label option for them from start to finish, right? And then we take their dream and we deliver it to their doorstep. I call myself white glove service, and that's really what we are. We're a white glove service. And that's really the American dream. I mean, that's why platforms like Alibaba, I don't want to sound like a commercial, but basically platforms like Alibaba give you that avenue to add wealth and add income and traffic, and I give the end buyer the ability to test my stuff at a very economical rate. I always say selling on Alibaba.com is kind of like being at like 5 trade shows at once. It's like trade shows cost anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. And if you're lucky, you might find one good buyer at every trade show or every other trade show. On Alibaba.com, you might find 2, 3, 4 good buyers a week. Honestly, the best advice I could have given to myself is take more chances. For the most part, a very conservative person. That's why I felt like testing Alibaba at a conservative price was well worth the money. Of course, that paid dividends 100 times over. So don't hesitate. If you have an idea, do it right away. Don't waste time.
Wonderful. Seller success stories like that, you could tap into our YouTube channel. We have a bunch. So yeah, take a look at it if you want to get a better understanding. Hear real life testimonials of what success looks like on Alibaba.com. Now, going into our main part now, how manufacturers in the United States can compete in B2B e-commerce. Now, for this section today, we've invited two very, very influential people in the entrepreneur and inventor space. I want to introduce Chris Guerrera and Carmine Denisco.
Hey, hello, David.
Hey, guys.
How's it going, guys?
Doing great.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Carmine, you were actually on our webinar, I want to say a couple weeks ago, right? It's not your first rodeo here.
No, I was. I got a lot of feedback from people. So we got some people watching this baby.
It's exciting stuff. So kind of want to go into the main piece today. So for you both, Chris and Carmine, so just knowing your extensive experience in business in the manufacturing area, what would you say are like the key points manufacturers should have in mind to find that level of success that you guys found?
I think it's a couple things, right? Cost is extremely important, but what comes good quality, right? Quality has to be equally as good as the cost. Mm-hmm. Obviously, having a good, strong network, a good platform, right? So if somebody is launching a product and not just looking at the manufacturing, right? Looking at all the processes and being innovative, right? Being innovative is really important in what you're trying to launch. I think those are critical characteristics.
Awesome. Then I think we can kind of break it down into individual sectors. Now, you mentioned the cost piece, the networking part, and the innovation part. Let's start off with cost. Why is I guess when you talk about cost, you're more so speaking about the proper way to reduce costs, right? To run your business more efficiently. Can you provide us a little more information about that?
Well, I'll give you an example. So Carmine and I work a lot on manufacturing, right? We cover the globe. I do a lot of U.S. products. Carmine does a lot of products outside of the U.S. So for me, from a U.S. standpoint, you have to be extremely competitive at cost, right? Otherwise, you're going to get somebody to buy a tool a lot less expensive abroad. You're going to get the manufacturing cheaper, but not everything lends itself to U.S. products, right? So when I do my products, let's talk about injection molding. The cost is absolutely critical. So how do I achieve it? I'm really competitive with anyone. I'll put anybody up to show me what they have an injection molded part and show them how competitive I can be. I utilize the labor at the full max. Remember, now I come out of automotive, right? I come out of Ford Motor Company and BMW plants of manufacturing, high level execution, strong Lean Six Sigma techniques. So when I'm injection molding, I make sure that my labor, when that press closes to inject, any of the labor that's on that's being allocated to that job is now being used outside the press, right? I've got free labor. Press is closed, it's molding, might be 50 seconds. On the outside of that press, I'm putting on labels, I'm putting on pads, anything that's a value add outside of that cycle time. And then it goes into a box, right? So I'm really, from that standpoint, I'm extremely flexible. For example, when I went on Shark Tank, right, our sales blew up. And in many cases, if you don't allocate your inventory because you truly don't know what you're going to sell, if you don't have enough inventory, you'll run out pretty quick. And then you're stuck if you don't have inventory. Well, I have the flexibility of having it manufactured on the same site that I fulfill the order. I can put the tool back in pretty quick, make more product. I never miss a beat. So all of that is critical, right? When I look at if you have a shipping, logistics, right? The cost of that is extremely high. 3PL, right? Logistics fulfillment, extremely high. I'm able to do that all under one roof at one time in one plant so I can be competitive and really be fastest to market when I need to be.
Wonderful. Thanks for the insight. I mean, cost reduction and allocating your funds in a proper way definitely is a strong point when it comes to finding that level of success in the manufacturing area. What stood out to me from what you said was the part about Shark Tank. And I think that's a great way to kind of segue into the second part of how important is networking, right? I mean, you two are very famous within the entrepreneur space. You guys are the leaders of the United Inventors Association. Do you guys have any advice when it comes to the importance of networking to find that level of success in the B2B space?
Well, my network with Carmine is invaluable, right? Because he can cover everything that I don't. But I'll give you a pure example of Shark Tank. When I actually got my product into Walmart, they gave me a 2-week window to deliver a product. which in many cases is literally impossible. It was a new startup. I had an injection tool. Basically, at that point, they said, I have a window open from Bentonville, right, on the open call at Walmart. I can get your product and try it out in 400 stores, but you have 2 weeks. Okay. Everyone I talked to said, you're never going to be able to do it in 2 weeks. It's not possible. I said, well, if we don't do it in 2 weeks, what are the chances I may get an opportunity like this again? So literally, when you talk about networking, I pulled all my resources, my packaging people, my resin people, my labor, all the fulfillment group that I have, and said, I have this to work with. How can we make this happen? Literally went to work, got the resin in-house. I actually grabbed my son on some of the pads that I needed, which normally you have to, you do it in high manufacturing. They're on reels. I had him literally sitting there hand cutting 60,000 units. Okay. He never worked for me again after that. But the end goal was to achieve what we needed to do. I called my packaging people and said, how can I get boxes, display boxes? Okay. Which to get graphics on alone takes 2 weeks. I was able to get a label, use my family, some of my nephews and nieces, put them on a label that I could use for the actual product, and use a blank white box so that when it got into a store, it's a display case, you rip it open and the label shows. So I just looked at ways of cutting down time and utilizing my resources. We had 15,000 units. I got them shipped within 2 weeks. And that sales alone led me to Shark Tank.
Wow. That's very, very, very impressive. So I'm just curious, how did you come up with that idea? How did that product innovation, that innovative thinking, how did you come up with that product idea?
Well, I have a partner that we worked on that. She has a child, and this product was we have many that we do, right? But this one in particular is a potty training device. She saw like using a potty training device on the floor, the cleaning of it, the safety issues of it, and really then having to do another training session. She came up with an idea that said, hey, why don't we just do it on the toilet bowl the right way the first time? And that's where the idea popped in, right? So she came up with the idea. She had some tools made. We made some refinements and truly was able to get that into production in a competitive environment and really get it launched. I mean, after we aired on Shark Tank, the sales literally blew off the chart. And we ran out of inventory, but forcing how many orders came in, I'm able to put the mold back in and produce more product, right? So it was always continuous, and we were able to fill every order within a week.
Wow. Then how would you say you were able to get that attention of those investors and the sharks, right? How did that process work out? You said the sales went up. What was it, right? From the buyer's perspective, what do you think was, wow, I have to buy this product? What do you think that selling point was?
Yeah, I think a little bit of the investors, like the sharks, in my case, I work with Damon John. They look at the individual, right? How are the individuals? How are the entrepreneurs? What will they do to make this work? And in my case, I felt like we really had 2 week window to get something in a retail store that's nearly impossible to do. We pulled it off. And then when we got on the show, we were able to demonstrate how great this product was. My partner, Judy, really showed the value of the product. We were able to show the value of us to them. And, we went in knowing we were going to evaluate it a lot higher than perhaps our sales showed. Because knowing once it saw the audience, had an opportunity to see it, it would sell. And sure enough, the valuation that we went in with on Shark Tank was higher than probably they want you to, because you're banking on some future sales. We actually exceeded the valuation on that weekend after it aired. So it was one of those, how do you like me now moments. I told you it needed an audience, and there you go. The valuation is higher than what goes and projected on the show.
Wonderful. Well, I have a question for both you, Chris, and Carmine out there. Excuse me, Carmine out there. It's very evident that you guys are very passionate about product development and launches. And I'm sure we have a lot of inventors out here, future entrepreneurs listening in today. What kind of advice would you give to those, manufacturers, those entrepreneurs looking to bring, new and innovative products to the market, especially in this, ever so changing and competitive landscape? What are some tips that entrepreneurs could adapt to find that level of success?
You want to go, Chris, or me?
All you, Carmine. Carmine's been doing this for 30 years.
There's a lot, David, and Chris and I have been doing this a long time. And one is don't worry about failing. You have to go through processes. You have to learn what works and what doesn't. Don't try to speak with everyone. A lot of people come to us and say, this product is for everyone. And there is no possible way it's for everyone. You have to really seclude your market, drill down, and sell to a certain market and make your product for that market, fulfill that need. Don't try to be everything to everyone because you'll just drive yourself crazy. Don't use your resources too early, as Chris was saying, or you had said, David, reach out to people when you need them. Reach out for that help when you need it. Don't continually burn your bridges. Don't bring your resources. Use them when it's needed. So following the right sequence is very, very important when trying to take a product to market. Using the right people. Alibaba.com, a wealth of information. Do those things in the right pattern, the right sequence, in the right time.
And really, just to feed off of that, know what you're good at. Don't try to do everything, especially if you're not good at it. You're going to spend a lot of time and money, and stop waiting. Everybody's waiting for the perfect opportunity. There is no perfect opportunity. If you have a great idea, do it. And you're not going to get perfection. You're not going to have perfection. Stop trying to make it perfect. Your customer is going to tell you what's better. You'll make these modifications. So get it launched, get it out in the market, get some feedback. Make sure you got a good manufacturer, you got good cost, you have good quality, and you really are solving a problem. But really know what you're good at. Don't try to do it all. I'm an engineer. I'm not an attorney. I don't claim to be one. That's why I have an attorney that in my network that can go get me a patent litigation, right? I don't expect him to be an engineer. So I say that really in a serious tone. Know what you're good at and what you're not. Get someone to help you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of that help, what if, I like to think of myself as a, hopefully, fingers crossed, future entrepreneur. Let's say I do have a product idea and I do want to take it to the next step. And I know you guys are part of the Inventors Association. Can you tell me a little bit more about the work that you guys do and how an entrepreneur, let's say like myself, could collaborate with you guys?
Go ahead, Carmine. I'll close it with the shows and talk about the pitch to the pros.
Yeah, so great question, David. So, like you said, so if you have a product, you have an idea, surround yourself. It's the old things, learn, educate yourself. The UAA is a wealth of information, wealth of education. We help hundreds and hundreds of people. We have over 100,000 members. We're here solely to help inventors and entrepreneurs be successful. As Chris said, don't think you are above that. Don't think that you know everything. Do what you're good at, but surround yourself with people that have done it before. Don't ask your neighbor what you should do next unless he's obviously taken a product to market. A lot of people will give you advice because they're not putting their time, their money, their resources in it. So use people that have actually done it. Between Chris and I, we've taken over 1,000 products to market. So if you ask us what you should do next, we're probably going to be able to tell you. And don't feel bad about that idea if it's not the next big thing. Think of another product. But again, don't hang up on one product. Don't hang up. Don't be that Swiss Army knife. Everyone wants to put all of these options, all these bells and whistles in their idea because they want to help everyone. Simple. Keep it simple. Get your product out there. Make some money, and then you can help the world. You can do your next project. There's so many things I can talk about. We can talk about this for hours. But, just keep it simple. Surround yourself with the right people.
Even the add-ons, right, Carmine? Add-on of SKUs. Let's start with the main product. Get some cash flow. Get it sold before you start adding on 3 and 4 items. You're just going to create some complexity that you don't need. I mean, we're doing so much now. We're launching a new product, a new company, four products in January called Modern Inventor, right? One side will be, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, it'll be education, celebrity guest speaking, the national shows that we do. The other side will be licensing products as well as producing and manufacturing products. That's how big this has gotten, that it needs a new platform for us to launch them properly.
Wonderful, wonderful. I know you guys are doing a lot of upcoming in-person events. I've seen a couple floating around on LinkedIn. Can you guys give us a little more insights on what those in-person events look like?
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit here, Carmen, about the pitch to the pros, right? It's a trademark program that we started earlier this year, and it's just taken off. I mean, literally blown up to a point where we're allowing inventors and entrepreneurs to be at these, who's going to be at the national show anyways, to have a booth in our area, which is either Inventor Corner, emerging products, next generation, to actually showcase their product, but we bring the pros. So we bring people from Good Morning America, Fox, Today Show, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart. We bring and all the I have 90 Shark Tank companies. We bring them to the show, and they have an opportunity to actually pitch their product directly to these decision makers, to the pros. We even have Damon John will be coming to some of our shows to do meet and greets. We have a new program, Rise Nation Mastermind, that Damon is part of. I'm part of that. We're going to allow people to participate if they meet certain requirements. So we've taken this stage and we've really taken it to a new level. For example, CES this year, the Consumer Electronics Show, January 9th in Vegas. We're going to have a booth with Inventus. When you first walk in to Eureka Park, you'll see a 100-inch screen and a 40 by 20 booth with
Chris's picture on it.
With some really big time folks. But no, you'll see Damon John's picture on it, literally. We're going to have a Shark Tank booth and allow entrepreneurs to pitch live. They'll be up on the screens for 90 seconds. So get that pitch fine-tuned, 90 seconds. And they'll leave with a thumb drive that literally can hand that over to Shark Tank or Mindy at casting. It'll be that level of professionalism. And we're going to have Damon there to do a meet and greet with some of the folks that sign up. So we're taking it to a whole new level.
Yeah, and prior to that, we're going to be doing some webinars to teach people how to pitch, the right way how to pitch. A lot of people jump on, they got 90 seconds. They use 60 of those seconds, talking about, they bumped their head and that's how they got their idea. We got to get the specific reasons. You got to get that pitch down pat. I mean, if you guys go on Shark Tank, you watch Chris's pitch, he blew it away on Shark Tank. So, you got to know how to pitch when it's time.
Yeah, I gotta see the audience.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They show his pitch. They show your Shark Tank episode, Chris, probably more than I've seen any other one.
After we aired nationally, we showed it 4 more times before the new season. You're lucky we get one. And then I think it's been on like 15 times since. I mean, okay, I did have a king hat on, king robe. I did throw money in the sharks, I did make it somewhat entertainment because at the end of the day, it is entertaining, right? While you're teaching and you're learning and trying to capture the attention of a VC.
Awesome. I mean, I really do think, this opportunity is really a great way for entrepreneurs to take their product from 0 to 100. So it's kind of wrapping things up here. This might sound a little cheesy, but you guys are obviously, the experts in the entrepreneur, the inventor space. Now, knowing what you know today, I guess, what kind of advice would you give yourself, let's say, years ago when you first started off this endeavor? What would you tell yourself back then?
So, Carmen, I'll talk about 2 things, right? For me personally, I feel like I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I mean, I had a lot of questions when I was young. I think when I was 12, 13, I had the largest paper route in Connecticut, right? In Waterbury, Connecticut,
Wow.
and I don't know if anybody knows back in the day, maybe they don't. Papers, you had to lug Sunday papers, which were the thickest papers. I think I had 150 customers. You had to lug them on your back and carry them around. But I always felt like I was curious. I had engineering mind. I was good at math. And for me, I felt like I've been doing design and engineering work my whole life. In today's world, what I know now, what I would have done differently, I think it was been the network. I would have not felt like even being an executive in the automotive industry, when you're young, when you're 21, 22, you think you know it all and you don't, right? That network is so important. Having people around you that are smarter than you, that know more than you, just make you better. I felt that at a very young age. And really for us now, it's being selective of who we work with. Because I find I give a lot of my time, and it's all free. I mean, I don't charge anybody. I give a lot of my time. I'm always wanting to help people, but I think I have to find out, like, really, when you're serious about launching a product, you have to be very serious. That means you have to have capital. It's time consuming. You have to understand what the market looks like. You have to know where to spend your money, how to spend it, or you'll be out of it pretty quick. So you need to have a real good game plan and a budget. That's from my seat, what I see.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Chris, I echo a lot of that. Mine would be, I would have shaved my head a lot sooner. No doubt about it. Certainly opened a lot of doors for me.
I mean, they probably don't know though, Carmine. Carmine's not just my partner. He's also my photographer. Well, maybe not. I had to fire him, I think, a photographer. But he's my bodyguard. He's
bodyguard, yeah.
So that, and really what Chris said is really big. But yeah, I was always worried about failing what everybody thought of what I was doing. And, that's one of the things that I would have just gone really 100% in, not worried about failing, learning, educating myself, and learning what worked and what didn't. I wouldn't have wasted several years worrying about failing, worrying about what everyone thought. I just go in there and do it. As Chris said, get started. Don't wait. There's no better time than yesterday. If you didn't start yesterday, start today. It's big.
Right.
Awesome advice, guys. We're getting close to our time here today. Just want to say thank you guys again, Chris, Carmine. Really appreciate your insights in the industry. Hope to have you guys again sometime soon.
Always, anytime, man. We love it. We love Alibaba.com.
So think about this
anytime.
before we go. So you got CES show we're going to be at, the PGA show in Orlando we're going to be at, the Inspired Home Show in Chicago in March we'll be at, in the National Hardware Show. We're going to have big stages. We're going to have Rise Nation there and Damon John doing meet and greets, and a full stage with a bunch of pros that you can pitch your product to.
And Chris,
awesome.
Chris is going to be there.
And I'm going to be there.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, Chris, you yourself is more than enough to go there. All right, guys. So thank you again for hopping on today. Super exciting chatting with you guys. And look forward to our next conversation.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
All right, so we've heard it from the very influential and intelligent people within the entrepreneur and inventor space. Now, let's say you have that idea, you have your product made. What's the next part, right? You got to start generating revenue. You got to start selling. Now, as I mentioned, if you're looking to go B2B, by the way, B2B is 6 times larger than B2C right now. Now, it's a great opportunity to tap into the B2B market. And who else to hold hands with than Alibaba.com? For those of you interested on our platform, we do operate on a subscription basis. Best part is 0% commission. Close a $1 deal, close a $100 million deal. Doesn't matter. It's all for you to keep. For us, we do operate on an annual subscription method. Obviously, the need for the type of membership will differ based on your business objectives, based on the type of business that you're offering. So if you are interested, use that QR code on the right, book some time with me and my teammates here at Alibaba.com North America. We'll be more than happy to learn more about your business and see what makes sense. So yeah, I think that's all we have for today.
Hey, thank you so much, David. And also thank you so much to our special guest. Does anyone have any last minute questions they like to ask? If not, you can also always scan the QR code that you see on screen or click the link that's in your chat right now. Those are all ways to book a meeting with David. I know every business is a little bit unique, so oftentimes having these one-on-one meetings that are completely free are better ways to assess whether or not the platform is the right move for you. Also in addition to that, if you want to learn more about B2B and global B2B things, here we always have webinars every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Here is the registration link for next week's if you'd like to learn about how to establish trust online. You know, we've all been on the internet before. We know sometimes there are some very questionable things that can happen, but what we need to do is better equip ourselves for learning how to present ourselves so we give off the right message and be able to find the right customers for you. So if you're interested in that, please click on the registration link below. It looks like we don't really have any questions, so if there are no questions, then I'll end the session right now. Thank you so much for joining us again. I hope you had a good time and learned lots of cool things. Thank you so much. Good.